Hello, my name is Serge. I'm 22 years old, and I grew up in a small town, Pembroke, Massachusetts, where I studied at Pembroke High School and inevitably attended Northeastern University, studied business administration, got my master's, and plan on working at Deloitte. Junior year, I decided to apply to about 5 or 6 companies, and once I got an interview with Deloitte, it was actually my top firm, so I went in for the interview, and it was actually very surprising. It was not exactly what I'd expect. So I was very nervous. Obviously, I was going to interview with 2 partners at the firm, and so immediately as I walk in, the partner, he sits down at his desk. I sit down, we both take a seat. Takes a quick look at my resume, kind of skims it over, and he says, "Okay, Serge, let's kind of cut through all the malarkey." I'm filling in, I don't remember what he said. Before you know it, he ends up giving me this piece of advice during the interview, which is actually pretty inspiring. I tell my family about. He goes, I end up asking him something about, some general advice that he could give me, as I embark on my career. And he goes, Serge, some advice that I'd give you, and he doesn't even talk about work. He goes, some advice, talk to your grandparents. Spend time with your grandparents, talk to them, spend time with them, and appreciate the time you have. And I thought, well, this is very outside the normal realm of accounting and auditing. Obviously, my grandparents, they grew up in in the 50s in Ukraine. Things weren't so great, especially during the Cold War and during the communist movement in the Soviet Union. So it was very oppressive government, so living in that fearful times, but also those times when times in fear, when you tell yourself, I need to get out of here, I need to pursue better things, I need a better life. So they're constantly chasing that dream, especially the American dream, even with all the propaganda that they were being told in the country. And so I would say they raised my mom and tried to teach her the importance of, education and, escaping that totalitarian country and, pursue better things career-wise. And so luckily enough, they were able to come to the United States in '92 after the Union collapsed. And my great-grandfather actually was able to gain employment here through the U.S. as an engineer. And so I was able to bring the rest of the family with him. And so they were kind of chasing that American dream, having, none of them really speaking English, not really having the in-demand work skills needed. And, obviously being discriminated against when they came here. So they had a lot of challenges that they had to overcome. My grandfather had a number of minimum wage jobs where he got laid off because he, wasn't performing well, also because he, didn't speak the language very well. Grandma as well. And my great-grandfather died after, just a few years after coming here. So they had to learn to make ends meet with the employment opportunities that were given to them, which kind of instilled that strong work ethic and, that theme of, taking advantage of all the opportunities presented to you that was passed down to me. So I'm really grateful for that.